Hi guys, welcome to another tutorial on how to do combo breakers and counter breakers in Killer Instinct. And what I want to cover in this video is basically how to do them, what they consist of, right? The bare bones combo breaker and counter breaker mechanics in Killer Instinct, and my mentality behind them. So we're going to start by going to this mode here that I've accessed through the single player mode. You go to Master, where training mode is, in Dojo, and you can find combo breaker training, right? So let's start with Jago, right? He is the poster boy of the game, right? The most basic character that everybody knows in Killer Instinct, that I think. And he has some of the easiest combos to break. So we're gonna take a look at that, right? So here you have the user interface. You could see what is going on during the combo. We're gonna turn that off because we don't need it. Because if you lock out, you're gonna find out why. And you're going to be able to determine what everything is just by locking out. So it's important that you learn what it looks like through, gameplay. I think that's the best way to learn. If you want to, just get beat up for a while and turn this stuff on and see what everything looks like, that's good too. But if you want to focus on breaking this stuff, I definitely think you should turn this off. We're going to put this on Ultra because this is the hardest difficulty. You can customize it if you want to look for something that you specifically want to break, and you can change the frequency of this. We're going to put this all on sometimes, and he's going to do a little bit of everything. So we're just going to let him beat us up for a little bit, right? So Jago is a basic combo character, and what I mean by that is, so we learned about linkers in the other video, right? He has a light linker, a medium linker, and a heavy linker for both of his special moves. His light linkers always all hit once. His medium linkers always all hit twice, and his heavy linkers always all hit 3 times. So, with that knowledge alone, you know an auto double always hits twice, a manual always hits once. We're just going by Jago's terms, right? So, with Jago, we know that his linkers are never going to be anything crazy. Some characters like Arya have linkers that hit, 8 times on a heavy, or shadow moves that hit, a million bazillion times. And it's like, okay, well, when do I break? When's a good time to break this? We're not going to worry about that so much. We're just going to worry about Jago. So we're going to go back to the center of the screen here. And I want to show you guys the way his in-combo system looks, all right? So we're going to see what's fast, what's a decent speed, and what's really slow, right? So he opened me up. Okay, so he jumped in. He started the combo with a medium linker after a medium auto double. He went into some really fast lights, and then he went into a shadow move. Off of that shadow move, he did a heavy manual that happened to hit twice because it was a 2-hitting move, and then he ended it with a juggle ender. So that was a pretty long combo. A lot of people don't go for long combos like that at a high level, I would say, unless they're very confident the opponent is not going to break. But I think that was a pretty extended combo. So there's a lot of opportunities to break there, right? So at a high level, if that combo did happen, it either would have been broken immediately or definitely would have been counter broken by the opposition, thinking like, okay, I'm going to do a long combo on purpose. Let's try to counter break this to see when they're going to break. So you won't see too much of that, honestly, depending on who's playing who at a high level. It's pretty rare. You see pretty short combos. Get your damage, get the ender, either get your resources or get your positioning, however you want to end the combo, get your damage, whatever it might be. You don't see too much of that. So if I were to get hit by that combo, I doubt he'll do something exactly close to that. I would probably try to break it right away. I locked out immediately because I tried to break those light doubles, and light auto doubles are reactable, but they're kind of hard because they're fast, right? So it's not always great to try to break lights, I think. I think if you got those, then you got those. But it's not always easy. So I recommend waiting for the slower things to break. Also, shadow moves. You can break shadow moves. His are standard. They hit 5 times each, the Shadow Wind Kick and the Shadow Laser Sword. You just time the hits with the buttons that you're pressing. The way you break them is by pressing either both lights, both mediums, or both heavy, whatever is more comfortable to you. At the same time, line it up with the hits, and if you break them 3 times out of the 5, any of the 3, you could break the first hit, the 4th hit, and the 5th hit. You could break the 2nd hit, the 4th hit, and the 5th hit. Doesn't really matter where or when you start. Just know that if you are are going to break it, then you have to get all three. If you get one or two, you can use that as lockout bait to try to get them to counter break you. There's a lot of mind games there for shadow moves. But breaking a shadow move is always a risk, because if the opponent knows that you're going for it, they can counter break you. It's just like anything else in the game. So now another thing I want to cover in combo breaking is so like you're getting hit, right? Say they win the neutral, you're in the middle of the screen, you get hit. They do a combo. Let's say that was a lot shorter than what it was, right? They pushed me towards the corner a little bit. Now I'm in the corner. I don't want to hold any of this, right? So now I got my back to the wall. They open me up again. They have advantage. I didn't want to hold that at all. I broke because of screen positioning there. That's a very common mentality in combo breaking, because you know where you are on the screen. You got hit. You want to get out of there, right? So that combo breaker pushed him off of me, and it gave me some real estate to work with. So off of that combo breaker, I could throw out a wind kick if I think he's going to advance. You know, if he hits me and he opens up a combo, I try to break mediums there, and I locked out right there. So let's take that situation into consideration. He got a damage ender. He's up in my face. I'm getting up. He saw that I locked out. Let's say he hits me again. There's a good chance I broke the last combo. He's going to think to throw out a counter breaker on the next one because I just locked out. Maybe I should relax. These are the kind of things that go through my head when I'm playing a match. Even though I locked out, and I know I locked out, I was like, okay, I fucked up, whatever. You have to think of what happened already in the past situation. It's important to keep those things in mind, because now I know that I locked out in a certain spot. He might see that certain spot and be like, I should try to counter break him now that I have him in the corner. Started out the combo the same way. I got hit, whatever it might be, and it was too short. I was looking for something to react to, and I didn't react to anything. You know, that's the kind of thing that happens in this game, where it's like you're looking for specific things sometimes. You want to break lights. You're looking for lights. You don't react to mediums or heavies. It's tough. And it's tough to break things on reactions sometimes, depending on what they are. So I think combo breakers are like a mindset, right? It's a mentality. You can't always break everything. Some people do. Some people break first frame, and they're almost always right. And that's a blessing and a curse, because they're easy to counter break, and they're really good at breaking if you don't. So I think it's a lot to remember that as much as it is a mechanic in this game, it's a lot of a personality trait too. And if you're an active player who's always trying to force a situation, and you're not playing a lot of like patience, you're more so trying to get something to happen in the game, whether it be you being the aggressor or you're always just trying to backpedal and zone. You're probably a pretty active breaker too. That's the trait I've noticed in most Killer Instinct players since I've been playing since day one, season 1, is that the more active players who are always moving or trying to go towards the opposition, they're pretty active when it comes to breaking. I'm not going to put anybody on blast. You know who you are. So I'm one of those people. I'll put myself on blast. I play very fast-paced, and I like to break a lot of stuff. I'm very susceptible to counter breakers because of that. But that's the game I play. Those are the risks I take, because I choose when I want to break, and I know that I break a lot. So I'm also very mindful of that, and I try to be, witty about it in a sense. So I don't always go for those. That's just how the mentality side of this works. So when I'm breaking, I think about this. I think about screen positioning. I think about how I got opened up. So I got jumped in on there. I didn't anti-air. Are you kidding me? That would have made me salty, right? So I probably would have broken as fast as possible there, because I would have been salty that I got hit by a jump in, because I feel like I should have probably anti-aired him instead. That would have been a lot better. So how you get opened up, things that can influence your mindset, like whether or not you think they got a clean hit in the neutral, like, damn, wow, he outspaced me with a whiff punish. I'm going to let this combo rock. You earned your damage, dude. It depends. It all depends. For me, I'm also likely to break if I have the aggression, right? I have somebody in the corner. I messed up my meaty or something. Like, all right. Oh, he crushed my low. That sucks. I don't want that to happen. Let's get out of here. Let's put him back in the corner. I broke there because I wanted to stay on the aggression. I didn't want to let up my position. I had him in the corner. I had a good thing going. Something unfortunate happened, and he had the right read in the neutral, but I won the mind game afterwards because I broke the combo after he won the neutral. So there's two neutrals that you're playing in this game. You're playing the mind game of, what are we doing in footsies? How are we playing the zoning game? Who's got to rush who down? what's the cat, and what's the mouse, all that stuff that's in every other fighting game. Um, that all comes into effect, right? And then you have to factor in the combo breaker, counter breaker mind game. You're playing two neutrals. It's a lot to take in, and it's very, very daunting at first. But when you use this counter breaker, or excuse me, this combo breaker training guide, you can use this effectively to see what all these characters look like when they're doing combos. So if you think Arya is hard to break, which I absolutely think she is, I've been fighting this character for nearly four or 5 years, something like that, and I still have trouble breaking her because she has some of the hardest linkers in the game to break. Same with Khan Ra, a very difficult character to break. Maya has some very difficult combos to break. There's a lot of these characters, and if you come into this practice mode, you'll learn what everything looks like. I'm not going to show you one by one because I don't have time for that. But I will also say that if you're a new player coming into Killer Instinct, you may be at a disadvantage because, well, compared to the players that have been playing since Season 1 and have played through every single character release, we've been playing the game since there was only 6 characters in the game. So we know what everything looks like because, you know, Spinal came out first, and then Fulgore came out, and we saw what each character had one by one by one. Oh, Season 2 started. Here comes TJ. Each character came out one by one. You guys are coming into a game that has nearly 30 characters, and you have to learn them all at once. So I suggest that you come into Combo Breaker practice, and you learn them one by one. Schedule a day where you just learn what Jago looks like. Then switch and go to Fulgore. You know, just make it like a sequence. You know, don't stress out too much about any one character. Just kind of see what they all have individually, and then if you have trouble with any one character, then you revisit them. That's how I would handle the situation as a new Killer Instinct player. That's what I personally. So there's that. I want to talk about counter breakers now. So we already covered combo breakers, right? That's kind of just my mentality on combo breakers. It's really, I would say my mentality is pretty complex about it, but a lot of people really simplify the combo breaker game, and that's a very valid way to play too. Let's look at counter breakers. So the first thing I want to cover with counter breakers is there are a lot of people in this game who like to break combos, man. They really like to break combos. So much to the point where they break immediately. As soon as they get opened up, they don't want to hold that stuff, man. They really want to get out of there. So we're going to cover that real quick. Let's start counter breakers on a note where you can scrub kill with them. Counter breakers are a tool. Oh my god, I opened this guy up and he just won't stop breaking me. What do I do? He's right every single time. He hasn't locked out yet. You're going to run into this player. He's probably playing ranked and he's probably playing Rash. Anyway, so this guy, he breaks everything, right? Immediately. So the only answer to that is, one, either don't do combos at all. Don't give him anything to break, which means you're relying on resets and you're giving up neutral to maybe be right. That's a risk. Or you could take another risk in the hopes that you get some guaranteed damage with a counter breaker. So if you know for sure this guy's not blocking on wake up, he's jumping all over the screen with wrecking balls and wicked tongues, and you don't know what you got to do with his crazy connection with 5 million ping, even though this game has great netcode. Some people have terrible internet still. Can't be helped. You counter break that bitch immediately. You open them up, and sometimes you can get a second one. There's different timings. And you can counter break somebody immediately if you open up a combo. That's what is so good about these people that mash. You can break them down easily. There's counter breakers that you put in certain situations. Let's say you know this guy always breaks mediums, right? So you open up a combo. Say you do some short combos. You jump in on them, whatever. You start doing some heavies. Oh, wow, as soon as I did mediums, he's looking for him, all right, whatever. Maybe it's not that fast. Maybe he's reacting to the second hit or the animation. You start to see what people like to break. You count in your head when it's happening. Oh, this guy's breaking mediums a lot. I'm doing medium manuals after medium linkers, and he's breaking the manuals every single time. I know who you are. You counter break that shit. Just like that. I don't know why it didn't work there. That's kind of crazy. As soon as I went for an auto double, though, it worked. That's strange. Weird lab. So with that in mind, we'll turn this back on to all, right? You start to see what these people like to break, and you keep track of it in your mind, and you see if they adapt. And if they start to change, then you have to change with them, right? That's how fighting games go. We progress, we adapt, we evolve, whatever. With your counter breaker, say you get that damage, you want to make sure you are getting the max damage possible in your counter breaker. You don't want to leave any damage on the table, because you can extend your combo too far, because you're only locked out for a certain period of time. So I'll show you here. And the first thing I did 2 counter breakers off of this, right? That's because I overextended my combo with that. I can't do that. It's too much. So if they think that you're going to extend a combo past your combo breaker, past your counter breaker limit, it only lasts a certain amount of seconds. You're not going to get anywhere. It's going to get broken again. So you have to squeeze in all that damage in that short amount of time in that counter breaker. So for my optimal combo, I do this. Meterless. That was broken because I didn't do it fast enough. That was a speed thing, but it does work. And that was a bad input. But it does look something like this. 3 heavies, light, 3 heavies, light, medium, 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 ender. That's the full thing. It didn't get broken, as you can see. I've been doing this counter breaker for years, and that's my meterless counter breaker. I always do that. Why? Because it gives me the most spin speed with Fulgore. That's for another time. You can add on meter to that same counter breaker and get more damage. I can add a bar here. And this is a 1-bar combo, and that did significantly more. If you think it's going to kill and you want to go for 2 bars, you can add on like another 10%, and you can do that. You have to see what the best counterbreaker combo is possible for you in whatever situation. If this guy had less than 50%, that would have killed him right there if I had 2 bars. These reads are important. It's important to tack on as much damage as you can when you have the counterbreaker read. So I think the mentality of counterbreakers is, what kind of person are you playing against? You know, who is this guy? What does he like to do in this game? What's his gameplay like? How does he like to play this game? You take all this into consideration, and you get the answer of he's probably a nut. If he's playing Killer Instinct, he's breaking combos, man. Everybody in this game breaks combos. There are some people who are more passive than others, but at the end of the day, everybody breaks combos in this game, right? So it's not a matter of if they're going to break the combo, it's a matter of when. If you're playing against somebody like me, it's definitely a matter of when, because I am breaking that. So anyways, this is just a simple guide on how to combo break somebody and how to counter break somebody. It's very simple. I don't think I covered the input for counter breakers, but you just press both mediums at any given time. That's how you counter break. I figure, you know, the inputs are on in the menu. You should be able to see that. So hopefully you guys don't have any questions on how to actually do it. But counter breakers are important. Just like playing neutral is in fighting games, and just like learning your matchups is. Combo breakers and counter breakers, guys. If you guys have any other further questions about this stuff, let me know. If there's anything you think I missed, or if there's stuff that's more advanced, intermediate to advanced that you want me to cover, let me know, guys. I'm really enjoy doing these guides, and hopefully my mic works on this. I had to re-record this, so hopefully this works this time. I see that I'm picking up audio, but you can never be too careful. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you on the next one.